In this video, I'll cover how you can effectively use a very powerful job search and connection building tool we all have available for free, and that is LinkedIn. Over the last 7 years, pretty much every job change I made was through LinkedIn, and that is true for a lot of people I know of. If you are trying to find a tech job and you are not fully leveraging the power of LinkedIn, then you'll definitely be left out against the competition. So in this video, I'll share what I think is the most effective way to fully leverage the power of LinkedIn so that you not only get a job in the fastest possible time, but also build a connection and an audience in a sustainable way so that for the rest of your career, you never have to apply for the jobs and the jobs will come to you. We have a lot to cover in this video, so let's jump right in. So the very first step you have to take care of is that of building a strong and impressive LinkedIn profile. Now, LinkedIn profile has a bunch of pieces, so I wanted to prioritize and which sections, even if they are a little average, that's fine. So the very first thing which everyone looks at is that of your profile picture. Make sure that your profile picture looks professional, and the two very simple tips I'll give you for that is that first, make sure that when you're taking the headshot, ask someone else to take it from the backside camera of your phone. Second thing, make sure that there is sufficient light, ideally coming from one side. It could be a sunlight, it could be a light of a bulb, or any other source of light. Just make sure that it is coming from one side. And third, very simple step, there are many AI tools which will help you tweak your headshot so that it looks more professional and more appealing. Once you have taken a good enough headshot, the second most important thing is the one-liner profile description. Make sure you add that you're looking for a job, and also if you have some kind of preference on what kind of industry or what kind of job you want to land, please mention that too. The more specific you are, the better it is. The third thing is, recently LinkedIn has been adding this tick mark sign. You can verify your work email address, or even if you verify your ID, it adds that tag which adds an element of credibility to your profile. So please add that. And the fourth optional thing is that LinkedIn itself suggests that profiles which are verified get 60% more profile views. So definitely don't miss out on this step. And the fourth optional step is having a LinkedIn premium subscription so that you have that shiny premium logo against your profile as well. Now, the reason I think these are the four most important things in your LinkedIn profile is that first, anyone who sees your profile looks at these in the first place. And the second thing is, even when you post your content, these are the four important elements of your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that you fill in your education history, your job history, your certifications, and any other credentials, because people who would be spending a lot of time on your profile would be looking at it. But I wanted to still distinguish between what are the most important things which I have listed as the four elements, and what are the things which can be the second priority, and that is your education, job, and other details. Now, one small tip I'll give when you are listing out your job experience, not only make sure what are the skill sets you used during your job, but also focus on impact. What was the business impact of your contributions while you were working there? Now, once we have made sure that you have a very good, impressive looking LinkedIn profile, the second step is to build some strong, useful connections. These connections are very important because these will be the people through which most likely you'll find your next job. So the very first thing you have to do is identify what is your core competence. What are some unfair advantages you have? It could be that you are located in a certain part of the world where there is not a lot of talent like you. It is possible that your skill set is a mixture of 2 to 3 dimensions which when put together make you unique. For example, if you have experience of Java and you have a lot of knowledge about cars, then you can position yourself as someone who would want to work in automobile industry as a software engineer. And it could be that you have banking domain experience, so you want to pitch yourself, so you want to go into the banking domain, or you have immense love for startups, so you really want to work in small startups. But regardless, find out what is your competitive edge, or at least what is the direction you want to go in. Once you have nailed it down, the second step is to actually find and figure out what are your dream 100 connections. Now, of course, we won't be actually limiting our number of connections to 100, but this is a very useful exercise that you figure out what are the dream 100 connections you want to make. Now, it will start with what kind of companies you want to work on. So you have to figure out what are the companies which are hiring in your region, what are the companies which are hiring for the skill set you have. Once you have figured out what are the 20, 50 or 100 companies you would ideally want to work on, the second step is that you can figure out what are the people who are most active on LinkedIn for these jobs. Ideally, you should be looking for someone who is a recruiter or a hiring manager. So do your homework on that, build some nice Excels, trying to figure out what are the dream 100 people you want to connect on LinkedIn and then influence, which have the maximum amount of chances of helping you land your job. Once you have your Excel in which you have identified what are the dream 100 people you want to interact with, start sending the connection requests. Now, one thing I want to particularly add here is that please do not send a connection request without a custom note. A custom note should be a brief 1 to 2 liner which tells you your introduction, who you are. Second, why you admire the people. So figure out based on their posts, based on companies, based on their company's achievements, what is one thing you admire about them. Do some homework, add that. And then the third thing should be an interesting conversation starting question. Now this part is very important because not only it will increase the odds of them accepting you as a connection, but also there is a big chance that it will help start a conversation, which means that now you are not just a random connection which they have accepted 3 months ago. You will become a person they have interacted with. Now LinkedIn has a policy on how many connection requests you should be sending per day. So please make sure that you respect that and avoid getting yourself banned from LinkedIn. Now, if you keep following that exercise for a couple of days or weeks, you will see that you will start building some healthy connections, and a number of connections after the initial 4 things which I have mentioned are most important in your profile. Number of connections is the 5th most important thing, which adds credibility to your profile. So gradually you want to not only build connections, you want to make sure that these connections are of people who could help you land your dream job. Now, once we have done these 2 steps of building a stellar LinkedIn profile and started building some connections, the third step is the most important step in this whole process. And this is a step which 99% of the people do not do it, and the 1% who do it always see remarkable success. And this step is that of posting useful content on LinkedIn and engaging with your connections. The framework I would advise is that of 1 and 10 framework. So you should be posting 1 useful piece of content every day, and you should be engaging with your existing audience and with your existing connections 10 times a day. Now, in terms of your daily post, one format which I really like is that of a LinkedIn top voice, Matt Gray. If you go look at his profile, every single day he posts a 1-pager explainer which is handwritten about one topic he cares about. And I think if you are trying to find a job, you should definitely do this because it has 2 benefits. One, it will extend your reach. Handwritten 1-pagers, they're very easy to read. They definitely stand out against the computer written content. And the best part is that you should be writing about something which you have expertise in. And when you try to understand a concept and explain it in an easy to understand way, that is the best way to enhance your own understanding of that topic. One thing which I encourage to people who are junior and asking for advice. So if you are a machine learning engineer, try to find one concept and understand it fully and then explain it in a way that even someone who does not have a lot of machine learning knowledge can understand that. You would realize that as you are distilling that knowledge into your own words as you are creating this 1-pager, this will significantly increase your own understanding. So after 1 year of doing this exercise, even if you have 0 audience, at least you have mastered and fully understood the concept of 365 technical concepts, which alone should be sufficient to help you land a job. The final thing which I would say about this Matt Gray format about LinkedIn posts is that in the footer of every page, he has a call to action. Now in his case, of course it is different, but in your case it should be, if you are looking to hire someone with your expertise, for example, if you are looking to hire a machine learning engineer, I'm interested, please reach out, something along those lines, so that anyone who reads it, and if they know of any position which is open, they can reach out to you and connect. Now, besides building this audience, now the more these 1-pager explainers you post, more views your profile will get. According to LinkedIn, if you post every week, your profile gets 4 times more views. And I'm pretty sure if you post daily, this number will be much higher. So though in the beginning you might not see a lot of results, if you keep sticking to this practice at least for 60 days, I bet you that you'll see some significant results. Now, as a part of this 1 to 10 framework, the second thing is 10 engagements with your audience and your existing connections. And these engagements could be first looking at their content if they have posted anything and leaving a very thoughtful comment. Please don't add nice, good job, or any kind of generic comment. Make sure you read it, understand it, and add a thoughtful comment. The second thing which you can do is that repost what they have already posted by adding some of your own thoughts to it. Now, you not only have an additional post for that day, you have also done sort of a favor to that person who have initially posted. Now, this is definitely a very good way of nurturing a connection. Another thing you can do is that as you are writing your post, if you think it is relevant to someone, make sure you tag them by name. They will get an alert that someone has tagged them, and some of their connections and audience will be able to see that view and post as well. So not only you are extending your reach into their inner circles, but you're also engaging with that connection in a much deeper way. Now, one tip I want to share is that try not to write every day and then post daily. Try to batch process. Take one day, for example Monday, in which you will write and have the drafts ready for all the 7 days of posts, so that if anything happens during Wednesday, Thursday, you already have your content lined up and you can just post them. Now, once you have stick to this 1 to 10 framework for at least 60 days, then the next step is that of asking people to help them land a job in a specific way. So the framework which you should be following is that of nurturing, maturing, and then talking. So you are, through the 1 to 10 framework, you have been nurturing your audience and engaging with them. Now, after 60 days, now some of these engagements are mature enough that now not only you know them better, they also sort of know you. And that is the time to reach out and just talk. So send them a message, hey, I want to have a brief Zoom call with you. Be respectful of their time. So give them plenty of options so that they can pick one. Using Calendly is an excellent way so that there is not much back and forth, and you just send them your Calendly link so that they could pick the time and day of their choosing. So once you go in the call, please make sure that you go with the giving mindset rather than taking mindset. So try to understand what are their business problems, what are they working on a day-to-day basis, even if it is without money. In this way, you will not be able to build a very long-term credible relationship, but you might get your foot in the door, and most unpaid jobs, they become paid jobs very quickly. So if you get that opportunity, don't miss it out, especially if it's your first job. Overall, always think of things in the long-term basis. If you are in this field and you're planning to stay here for 5 to 10 years, then make sure that you build some long-term relationships. Don't be greedy and just want to get a job and then abandon this all exercise of building and nurturing the connections. Instead, stick with it even when you land the job, and keep using this 1 to 10 framework. Post a daily piece of content every day, even after landing a job. Engage with 10 people, even after landing a job. Now, it will definitely require 30 to 40 minutes of your work almost on a daily basis, but it will help you learn new concepts, write them in your own way. So you would be learning a lot during these 30 to 40 minutes you are spending on this every day. And most importantly, if you keep sticking to this exercise, you will never ever have to apply to any other job ever again. Instead, there will be a lot of reach outs to you with very attractive job opportunities, and then you can select ones which you think are most useful for you. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching.